The passage of time is often seen as a march towards progress. Babies age, people graduate school, and that job you applied for 3 months ago still hasn't called you back. Time moving forward is something we just can't avoid. Some think advanced machinery will save them from aging, others might try special surgery to look young, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Because time comes for us all, and nobody can escape its grasp. No matter what you do, the time will pass anyway. In any case, did you guys know Man vs. Machine is 13 years old? Yeah, thinking about the passing of time slowly eroding away everything I've ever loved or cared about has got me thinking. I remember being a spry young whippersnapper at 12 years old, when MVM was brand new. I remember watching all kinds of theory videos trying to piece together the plot by myself. It was an exciting time that not only no longer happens in TF2, but video games and online gaming as a whole, if you really think about it. I can still remember exactly where I was the day Two Cities was first teased. I was leaving 7th period during my freshman year of high school and checking a blog on my phone. The 5th Scream Fortress had just happened, and I was looking forward to whatever that year's Smithmas was going to be. Then, lo and behold, the teaser for Two Cities was there, and it eventually came with Australium weapons. So not only were we getting brand new maps and brand new tours, we got robot parts, kill streaks, new voice lines for every class, badges, and of course, the golden guns. The only way you were getting a shiny new variant of a tried and true weapon was to earn it through the harshest robot waves we had ever seen. Or just wait and spend $100 when they came to the Steam market. This was before gunmetal, so weapon skins hadn't been introduced yet, and much like weapon skins, not every gun is created equal. When deciding which gun got an Australium skin, it might feel completely random, like what was Valve thinking? Seriously, imagine paying over $50 for an Australium Blutsauger, and that might sound like a horrible deal now, because it is, but to Valve it made perfect sense. Every medic main worth their salt was using the Blutsauger. It was just too good. Its many benefits made it the de facto medic primary with no signs of giving up that title. Had it not been for the passive reload buff the Crusader's crossbow got a month prior, effectively taking the top spot as medic's definitive gun. Oops, guess they should have thought that one through. But hey, at least we'll get an Australian version of the crossbow, right?
Wrong!
It seems some rather obvious additions have been excluded, along with some that just feel wrong not to have. So this video is going to be a compilation of weapons I think really deserve that nice, shiny finish. I'll try to give every class 2 more weapons. If not, then hey, they'll just show up in 12 more years in the next update. Let's start with some multi-class weapons, and first on the list is probably the most obvious. It's the shotgun. It makes absolutely no sense to me that the stock shotgun hasn't gotten an Australian version. Two Cities was 12 years ago.
12 years ago!
And to my knowledge, we haven't gotten a single new Australian, period! I have a few strange shotguns that I keep in my backpack, but I'd gladly trade up for this. Sure, my engineer bias is a little in control here, but hey, 4 people get to use the shotgun. If we got this, and a few of my other suggestions, several classes would be able to go all in on the golden motif. I honestly don't have much to say. I don't think it's unreasonable to assume we should have gotten this 12 years ago. Next up is a treat for Engineer and Scout, the pistol. This might come as a shock to you all, but there's not a single Australium secondary weapon. That is, if you don't count the sticky bomb launcher. I like the pistol. I even have this fancy one, but much like my shotgun proposal, most of my thought process boils down to, well, why wasn't this just in the game already? Sure, this one is used by only 2 guys instead of 4, but I still see no reason not to have it. And it's not like this is a case of, oh, well, why would we waste an Aussie slot on the pistol? Because I just remembered while editing this video that there is a single Australium secondary, and it's the Sniper's SMG. So yeah, you can really see where Valve's priorities lie. I'd include the Luger Morph here, but that was a promotional item, which is a whole other can of worms that Valve will not be opening. Lastly, on our multi-class journey, we have ourselves the Half Satuichi. This is on here purely because I think it would look cool. We already have the Eyelander for demo, which looks cool too, but giving demo knights another golden sword is good just for variety's sake, and letting Soldier have a piece of the pie is fun too. Sharing is caring after all, and a sleek golden samurai sword is the stuff of legend. Rule of cool is winning here. Alright, so for the Scout, I think that the Force of Nature and the Scattergun were pretty good picks. I don't have too much to complain about in that department, but let's not forget that the Scout has a lot of weapons, so if I were to give him 2 more, I think I'm gonna go with the Babyface's Blaster, and the stock bat. I'm gonna choose these because while the Shortstop and the Soda Popper, they're fun in their own way, the gimmick of the Babyface is much more thrilling. Believe it or not, I have a professional Killstreak bat simply because I like the look of it. But I'd love the look of an Australium bat even more. And if you disagree with me, then, you just let me know. Write it down. Okay, Soldier. He's kind of lucked out because the Australium rocket launcher is already one of the best in the game. But you can also use the black box. It's actually harder to justify even giving him another one because those are already so good, So I might already be weaning the list down to only one new Aussie, okay? But just bear with me. Right away, his primary slot is kind of taken. So what else is there? The Cow Mangler? I guess it could look kind of cool with a golden trim, but no. For Soldier, I'm thinking one thing in particular, and you might have seen this coming, but the Market Gardener. Having an Australium shovel seems just like a no-brainer. I would have also gone for the stock shovel, but the Market Gardener seemed to just kind of click better. But you know what? This is real life, which is why instead he's actually getting none of these, and this is just a YouTube video. Pyro, I think, is in a fine enough spot. The flamethrower is classic, and the axe extinguisher looks amazing in gold. But there's always room for improvement. I'm thinking a new primary is in order, and I think no other flamethrower deserves it more than the Dragon's Fury. Yeah, I hear you. You can have your flog or your back burner, but I've never had more fun with Pyro than I did when using this. I made a whole video about it. That's how much I enjoy it. An Australium Dragon's Fury just might make up for the complete lack of weapon skins. Plus, this getting added would encourage many more people to pick up and learn what is arguably the most skill-required Pyro weapon. For their second weapon, it's a three-way tie between the flare gun, the stock fire axe, and the power jack. The stock axe is here because I just think it would look good. The flare gun I feel is obvious. It's just so iconic. It probably ties with the Dragon's Fury in terms of skill needed to fully utilize it. Lastly, the power jack based on sheer utility. It just feels really good to go fast, and I think having an Australium-powered car battery would certainly come in handy. So yeah, I can't decide which one to give them. Figure it out for yourselves. A little known fact that 8 out of the 9 classes all follow is that when 2 cities came out, 8 of the 9 classes each got 2 Australium weapons. Seems pretty legitimate, but Demo Man is a rare case where he actually gets a special little privilege. Valve gave him 3 Australium weapons. He's got his grenade and sticky bomb launchers, along with the Eyelander for demo nights. So I'm only going to give him 1, but it's really close for me. The Iron Bomber and the Loose Cannon, in my eyes, both deserve an Australium reskin. The Iron Bomber for its tight-knit precision and fun basketball sounds, and the Loose Cannon for the exact opposite reasons. It's one of the most fun, violent weapons in any video game, and a golden hand cannon would be awesome. I'd give him a melee reskin, but an Australium bottle wouldn't make that much sense, I suppose. Between the two of them, I might be leaning more towards the Loose Cannon if I'm really being honest with myself, but I do think both of them deserve it. Now it's time for heavy, and right from the rip, I'm gonna say I'd love an Australium Iron Curtain. It's a very good stock reskin, and if it weren't for this Killstreak minigun a fan gave me a few years back, it was pretty much the only gun I used, so a golden version would be badass. But no promotional items are eligible because, like I said, that's a whole thing, so no Big Kill, no Luger Morph, no Widowmaker, no Machina. Valve would have to get permission from other people, then they'd actually have to code that, and, well, you know how much they won't do it. Anyway, Heavy got 2 primaries, his stock minigun and the Tomislav. And unlike the Blutsauger, the Tomislav used to suck, but was buffed 7 years ago, so it's actually pretty good. It worked out. An Australium Sandwich would be funny, but we already have the Robo Sandwich, so I don't want to overstep on the food reskins. I think the sweet spot would be to give it to the family business. We already got the stock shotgun reskin, so I think this works, but hey, if I'm full of it, just let me know. Most of Heavy's melees suck, so the Eviction Notice, Fists of Steel, and the Warrior Spirit are off the table. The Holiday Punch won't work because the whole joke is that he's using soft mittens, so I'm gonna do something potentially off the wall and give him a stock Fists reskin. He wears fingerless gloves, right? How about Australium gloves? Yeah, that's funny, but give him a KGB reskin. They're kind of the only viable melee he's got. Yeah, you got the Gru, but nobody's using that thing, man. Okay, here we go. The big one. I love Engineer. He deserves all the love in the world, but I have to be fair. he also only gets 2 Australiums. He's already got the Frontier Justice and the stock wrench. Now, hey, I love the stock wrench, okay? If you know, you know.
A wrench! A wrench! A wrench!
But we can do better. Given I already have a stock shotgun and pistol reskin, that takes care of Engineer needing anything for his first 2 slots. This whole thing was all part of my secret plot to give Engineer special treatment, and you all fell for it, which is why I'm going all in on his melees. As much as I love my Aussie wrench, I don't get as many opportunities to use it other than when I'm already playing Man vs. Machine due to upgrades. There isn't a lot of uses for the default wrench these days, which is why I'm proposing an Australium Jag and Gunslinger. That checks off every Engineer playstyle. The Jag, for obvious reasons, everyone uses it. It's simply too helpful. And yes, my professional killstreak strange festive Jag will always have my love. I'd really prefer having an Australian version that covers the needs of all Engineer players who desperately need to move that gear up in a timely fashion. Secondly, the Gunslinger. Even if mini-sentries were the equivalent of dog shit sucked out of a piss-coated straw, people would still use this thing for the extra health alone. Battle Engineers will have a field day with this, and given that the Gunslinger is constantly visible, having a sick-as-hell golden robotic hand is gonna get you some serious style points. Wow, it's Medic. It's not really a contest at all. Give Medic an Australian Crusader's crossbow and an Uber saw. Yes, I love the Amputator, this has been made clear several times on my channel, but unless Medic were to get both for his melees, I don't think the general public would give a shit about it. Those are my only notes. It's current year, and Medic still can't have the shiniest version of what is ubiquitously his best loadout. Easy, moving on. Sniper getting his normal rifle and SMG coated in gold is fine if you really think about it. Have you ever noticed Sniper doesn't even have that many weapons to begin with? A lot of his gears are more tools than weapons. We can't have Australium Girardi because Sniper's from New Zealand, so the SMG is fine. As for the primaries, I'm gonna say the Hitman's Heatmaker. I really like using it and I'd like to have it. It doesn't have any weapon skins, and I looked on Game Banana for 2 hours. There's not a single Australian variant of the Hitman's Heatmaker. So actually, maybe never mind. I guess this thing sucks ass. The Machina, as I mentioned previously, won't happen because it's a promo item, and the classic sucks, so I don't think anyone would use it anyway. He should at least have a melee, so the Bushwhacker is my choice, as it's got its fans for a reason, it has its place. The risk versus reward factor is pretty cool, combined with it being a sweet golden blade, would strike fear into whoever's on the other end of it. The Tribal Man Shiv is also a good option, but honestly the stock Kukri would deserve it as well. That's kind of all I got for Sniper, because what else is there? What can you get him? How much more mileage can you get out of something like an Australian Razorback? Finally, it's Spy. He's got the Ambassador and the stock knife. Much like Sniper's picks, these are fine, but just like the Blutsauger issue, the Ambassador got the skin when it was still pretty good. I mean, you can still use it, but everyone knows it's not as good as it used to be. So I think the stock revolver should get its much-deserved variant. While the Diamondback having a gold and black finish would be nice, and the L'Étranger would be cool and stylish, I don't think they're popular enough to earn them. The kunai's annoying, so it doesn't deserve it either. Honestly, the whole problem with the knife is that you never see it unless you get killed. Spy in general can't be as flashy and cool because you're never supposed to see him. So it's not about what cosmetics he can wear or what sweet golden weapons he can or can't have. You're not intended to see a naked Spy. It's honestly hard to even give him anything. But I'll say this. Give him a golden revolver, and give him a golden spicicle. Stabbing people with the jagged piece of Australium and having them turn into statues like what the golden wrench does would be amazing. Make it happen, Valve. With all that being said, I'm done, and this video is over. Valve, please add everything I talked about, and also it would be really cool if you would give me a copy of them too. That'd be nice. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I have a Patreon with rates starting as $1 if you're interested in supporting my endeavors, and if you want more content, check out my second channel, Wayland Plus, where my brother and I play a lot of video games. I'll see you all in the next exciting video, where I talk about background noise for over 10 minutes! Bye everyone, love you!